All right, I don't know if you can see this or not. What happened was the Crete truck hit the power pole and then almost hit the building. They had to take a saw and cut the power pole out from under his axles. This all happened behind a row of trucks. So I don't know what to say about this except for know what you're getting into before you get into it. I mean, you can get messed up real quick. I don't know if the driver's even in the truck anymore. They said they were going to refuse the trailer because it was damaged. And that's the wrecker facing him now. So, yeah, it's getting to be daylight now. But there's a couple of guidelines. There's a truck with a pickup truck with running lights over to the right. He's part of the power company, I believe. They had to come out and cut the pole and then slide it out from under the trailer to remove it because it was stuck under the trailer. So evidently he's on top of that pole. And it could be an electrical situation that what they had to do is they had to cut it off. That's why the power company came. I think the back end of his trailer is still on top of that pole. They're gonna work on it and get him out of there. So you can't see the drivers walking around the trailer. I think that's the driver to the left. It's really hard to see any of this. The sun will come up in a bit, but they're gonna have to tow him off of, I believe, the stump of the pole. That is my understanding of the situation. And he's nosed up to a building, so he can't go no further forward. And they're all out there trying to figure out just exactly how they're gonna do that. The wrecker guy's just like scratching his head, like he was like, he ain't seen nothing like that before to have to deal with that. Like, he's gonna have to pull him backwards or something from the trailer because you can't get up to the building because the tractor is nosed up to the building is what he's looking at. So he's thinking what he's going to have to do is hook to the trailer. I mean, I'm just, just thinking here. He's going to have to hook to the trailer and lift it up. But the sunlight will come up pretty soon. And you'll be able to see a little bit more of this. I've got a stand for this. I'm fixed to have to locate it. Let's see what I can do here on my end. But yeah, it happened this morning. I've got a first part of it. And then isn't that how it always goes? Can't find what you need. Yeah, he's lighting it up now. I apologize if I moved around a lot. I was reaching down and kind of trying to get my other camera mount, but I happen to have a brand new one right here next to me too. That is just as easy. So, but see, that's the thing. Using a wrecker to have to get under a trailer from the back end just to pull it away from the building in the first place, and you can't see the driver on the right side. I wish you could see it. He's trying to still, I think that's the driver, he's still trying to pull the pole out from under his trailer here. And this is just everyday stuff, man. I see this all the time. This is not This is not nothing special. It's really sad that it happens a lot. But this is a parking lot. And let's see what I can't do about the camera, and then y'all can watch this stuff. And I don't know, I put it up maybe to show somebody, okay, don't do that. You know, I don't know. Like, what do I know? Let's see what we can do here about getting a mount going on. Like I said, this one's new. It's not even adjusted or anything. I've got to find out where the pieces are at here. Will that fit? Yeah, it's a mess. Like I said, I wish you could see it better. I think the daylight's going to take care of that. Shut this off so it won't be shaking like crazy. And okay, there we go. And I'm not sure, like I said, any kind of a better way to explain this except for that there was a row of trucks. He was trying to maneuver behind us. I had to move. I'd have been in the direct view of that right there. I had to move anyway, so he could take care of this. Now, I just want to make sure nobody had hurt my truck, or nobody had gotten hurt. And I went back there and I was like, you know, I asked the cop, I've got the video. I said, hey, ain't nobody got hurt, right? You know, or I asked what happened. It looked to me, once I saw his truck, I couldn't tell if maybe he had bumped the back of my truck or something crazy. And I thought, well, now it looks like a run under, and I was like, oh God. And they were looking under the trailer and all this. I was like, oh God, somebody's either trapped under there or whatever. And then they didn't seem to be, you know, just kind of standing around, only one person working under there. I'm like, there can't be a person trapped under there. So I asked him, and he says, I said, anybody get hurt? He's like, no. I was like, oh, okay. So I was making sure it wasn't nothing to hit mine. I said, well, what did happen? And he says, the driver hit the pole. He didn't just hit the pole though. He ran clear over it, maneuvered around, ripped it off, and nosed up to the building and stuff. And they were out there with a sawzall, and I believe it was a sawzall. I thought, well, maybe I saw a torch. It was sparks flying because they were cutting the pole out from under the tandem wheels. Somehow it was either between the tandems or something, and it's a big pole. You're talking about the size of I ain't gonna say a spruce, size of a pine power pole. At least 12 inches around, maybe 15 inches around pole, and it was long as they cut it, and then it took a few of them to pick it up and slide it out, even though it was cut loose. So now this wrecker, he's got his boom out. Like I said, it's confusing to me, and I think it was even confusing to the driver of the wrecker, the way he was looking at it, like, what am I even supposed to be doing here? You know, this guy, you can't hook to the ICC bumper of a trailer, really, and do much with it. Those things bend. So I think he's going to try to get up under there where there's a lift point, kind of like in the same way that they, even though they're not built for it, they're not built for rail travel, but you know, some kind of a lift point with a strap or something, just to pick up, move over, and set down off of the power pole. And he may have to do that. My understanding is they cut off the power, but I know for sure they removed the pole, but I don't know. There may still be a power thread. So I just figured I'd hit this, man. Look, they made me move. If I gotta move or something crazy happens at the truck stop, you know my rule, it's going up. So as this light sheds light on the situation, pun intended, as the sun comes up, you'll better see what I can see. He's, like I said, he's not completely jackknifed or nothing, but he's turned it about a 45-degree angle to the left. The trailer is jacked over to the right. The tractor's to the left and nose right up to a building. I guess he tried to turn around and maybe backed over the pole, but I don't understand it. I don't know what he did back there, because he ripped the pole across the ground there and had it all under his tires. So I don't know. That's a sharp little wrecker. He opened up the door and it was all lit up. All the levers, there's a light in there when he opens up the door. So yeah, so this is just my morning. It's like an everyday. I'm gonna move this a little bit, and you can see that truck backed up, and there's a truck next to him that's backed up. You know, just so you see what's going on. There was a bunch of trucks backed up, and we had to move so that a wrecker could get in there and help that guy out from what he tried to do. I'm still trying to figure out exactly, I don't know what he was doing back here, but now you can start to see, you know, I can better see it than this camera shows up, so I don't know, maybe it's the lighting on my camera being dim, but looks like the guy is using using the wrecker boom and maybe a strap to go underneath the whole thing, or maybe one on each corner. So a little bit early in the morning for this mess. Triple C Crete, you gotta do better than that. Y'all gotta do better than that. I wonder how much it cost to have the wrecker come out. You know, that's one question. But he was sure enough getting nosy with that building. He was up to it. See, that's not the truck driver. Wow. That's the wrecker. He's got the whole tail end of that trailer. Look at that. Look at that. Wow, I didn't even know they could do that. That's awesome. He picked up the trailer, sliding it over to the right, and then it's still connected at the fifth wheel. That's awesome. And he's on it, and it's sideways. Whoever this wrecker company is, they are good at what they do. Those guys are geniuses. I've not seen, I didn't know they had that kind of equipment. I know that you can, I guess a special one of them has to have the boom truck, that crane on the back. Because most wreckers, you know, they have just a flat and then the hook on the back and then a winch, and then they can do a lot of stuff with the winches. I've just never seen a wrecker with a crane. So that's pretty awesome. He picked it up and moved it over like it was nothing. I hope I'm not bothering nobody with a commentary on this. It's just kind of my video, and I'm just kind of putting it up. You know, kind of crazy. I've never seen anybody that could pick up the tail end of a tractor trailer. Got to be empty. No, not necessarily, because they do haul some lightweight stuff here. But he's under there checking the clearance on the nose at the nose of the trailer to see if when the guy's swinging it around, if it's going to, this is the craziest video. This is going to be This is a crazy video. I mean, I can't even believe they're doing all this. I didn't know he's going to do all this. I just thought I was just going to say, hey, don't do this, people. He's picking up the back end of an 18-wheeler and moving it over. So the guy in the front is watching to see if there's any kind of scrubbing on the frame or whatever, but that's not that big of an angle. That's only at 45 degrees, so I think it's the driver up there, and he's worried for no reason. This guy does this all the time, evidently, because he's not even Che. He's running the boom. So... that is awesome. Let's see if it'll clear it up any. I think that's about as clear as it gets. Look at that. That is crazy. He's just picking it up and moving it like it's a toy. That is one double tough crane. That, man, I've just never seen a crane on a wrecker. It's just me. That's awesome. So I guess now once he does that, lifts it up off the thing, whatever, maybe the truck can back himself straight up if he don't hit it again. He didn't do a good job the first time, but then maybe he could back up, and then he could, I'm still scratching my head on it, but maybe then the guy's going to tow him out of here, because if there's a problem with the trailer tires, or if he broke a brake chamber off or whatever, there's going to have to be some work done right here in the parking lot, because the trailer tires would be basically locked up. But I think he was just stuck on that hump of the power pole, if there's a hump or whatever it is. I've never seen anybody do that before. And maybe they have cranes on all the wreckers and I just didn't notice. I could be wrong. Maybe they've upgraded a lot of them to that. Or it's just always sitting down so you don't notice that it has that ability, that it has two pneumatic pistons that can drive that boom up. But check that out, man. Wreckers can do some awesome stuff. And he's got a remote. Isn't that crazy? I didn't even know what he was going to do when he got here. And I've been doing this for years, man. I'm like, what in the world is he going to do with the tail end of a trailer? Hey, I guess they know. all the peat and the guide lines. See the guide wires? That's the worst thing at night. You gotta watch for stuff like them guide wires. You know what I mean? That's what he's got a problem with right now. But nobody else had a problem last night. We were all parked and everything was good. That dude come in here and, you know, then we had to move and everything. I always say try to beat the wrecker. Nobody wants to pay for a wrecker bill because it's high, and it don't even include fixing the truck. It don't even include parts. It just gets you where you need to be or whatever. But I'm gonna tell you something. Wreckers are awesome. They can do stuff that we can't. So can't knock the wrecker. We like the wrecker drivers. We just don't want to have to pay them. Let the companies take. Let Triple C Crete pay them. They're gonna pay them I don't know. Hey, check it out. Triple C, if you watching this, just tell us what the bill was. Yeah, it's okay. It's, don't take it personal or nothing. We're not knocking every company. We're just shining the light on the stuff, saying, hey, don't do this, and maybe it's a good little training video. We're not knocking. We're not saying, oh, your people are like this. I'd like to know how much the record bill was. For real. I could go over there and talk to the driver. I'm a driver. He wouldn't have no problem. He'd probably tell me exactly what it costs. But, So, yeah. A little kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. So he's got to do his job, and then the electrical guy's got to do his job. Oh, don't do it, driver. Somebody else already. Schneider, no, just don't. Just don't do it. It's close, no doubt. So when he moves, and I'm just being lazy at this point, I could walk up there and show y'all the pole. The pole is over to the right. They done drug it over to the curb. I could go up there, but when he moves, you'll be able to see, he's fixing to move. You'll be able to see where the pole was. He lifted it up, set it over, and set it down. The pole was in that hole. He is not going to drive this truck like it ain't nothing. Oh, Lord. Triple C. Oh, Lord. Are you serious? You gonna tell me that nothing happened to that trailer with it all the way it was? And it even bent his what do you call that, the airfoil on the passenger side. You fixing to see it. Is he testing his brakes or what's he? Anyway, what, just gonna drive it like that, dude? Maybe he's gonna go straight to the nearest shop. We're just gonna assume people in this. God, dog, dude. He's gonna slap it on the tail and get it going again. Now he's gun shy. That's what's up. Oh no, he's got a busted brake chamber that he ain't able to push. Probably. He's dragging the tires there now. Yeah, I knew it had to do something to the brake chamber. Had to. So he's just gonna try to spin out until he pushes it back or whatever, drags it back or what, because he's got a brake chamber that's... Yeah, get out and check it out. You got a brake chamber locked up, bro. Once you get a brake chamber locked up and you get to that point, you can't just drag the tire around the whole parking lot. I guess he's just going to try to force it. You cause damage to the brakes and the tires. You can break a set of brakes, basically. And all it is either he busted an air line or he broke... I'm thinking it's probably a brake chamber's probably bent or broke, so it's not releasing the brakes. Look at that. He's just gonna fight it, man. Is that him revving it up? So he needs somebody to come out and cage his brake chamber so we can get out of here. And there you go. And if he did just shut it down, that is the smart thing to do. Not, like I was saying, not to continue to damage it, because, you know, here's the thing. You're going to have somebody come out and work on it. You're better off out of the way right where you're at. You ain't got to be straight with something. It is what it is. You're where you're at. Because if you put pressure, forgetting about wearing a flat spot on the tire or whatever, because really you can drag a set of tires probably about 800 feet before you put a flat spot on them. So the 20 he was trying, I mean, it's I don't recommend no dragging, but the thing is, mainly you can break the brakes on a truck. You can the lining on brakes is just like a car. The lining on cars are bonded with an adhesive sometimes, and sometimes they come away from the backing. All the truck ones I've seen are riveted, but what happens is you'll crack the brake itself because it'll grab so good to the steel, and it's made to, and it's a high steel brake shoe. It's not a lot of just asbestos material. It's got some metal in there, so the brake shoe itself will break like a cookie. Like if you took a cookie and crumbled it, and it's got rivets through it, but it breaks right at those rivets, and it has stress cracks and stuff. And so if they do a thorough DOT inspection, a thorough one, cracks in the brake shoes will shut you down. Now I've heard that I've seen a schematic one time that said they allow a little bit of cracks or something, which I don't believe that's even right, or if it is, it's not right anymore. My understanding is any cracks along the right side or left side of the shoe, you're going to see the side of the brake shoe. That's where it's going to be cracked at. Any breaks and cracks there, pretty sure they're going to shut you down. So you don't want to have to do a brake job. Yeah, he's going to call the company. Good job. Call them. rather than dragging around the parking lot. I mean, he was pushing his truck a bit, and it's no good on your clutch. It's no good on your tractor tires. It's no good on definitely your drive shaft. You can break a drive shaft, people, being too hard on the universal joint, and the whole thing will fall down and just be spinning real fast and beating the devil out of your tanks and everything under there. So not smart to push a drive shaft too hard. But yeah, you could break a set of brakes, you'll damage your clutch, you damage your drive shaft trying to move it around in the parking lot. Have the mechanic work on it right where it's at, you know. This guy next to me, he's like, what's up with that? You know, yeah, dude, crazy. So the pole is over to the right on the pavement, and yeah, move that for a second here. We got people walking by too, but yeah, that's what you do, buddy. Walk around and see, he's got a record bill. Like I said, that was a big deal. People, I've never seen that before. That's gotta cost money. That's got me some big real money, some big bucks. So I don't know how much it costs for a record like that. That's crazy. Even though he didn't tow him anywhere, that was a major record job. So, and not everybody, I don't think every wrecker has those booms. Like I said, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe they all do. I don't do that for a living. I've learned some stuff about it. I know about a lot of their tools, so I can do my own stuff and beat the wrecker. But yeah, so the pole is all twisted up and bent over there to the right. And then this guy's here where he's at, dead in the water. So yeah, you can have a breakdown without actually breaking down, people. I think what happened, and it's just me knowing so much about, hey, it happens all the time, probably it hit the brake chamber, and those metal angle pieces that those brake chambers are mounted to, but that they're welded to the axles, a lot of times bend and break. And so then even if you give it brakes, it won't release the brakes. Or it cut an airline back there and it just won't release them. But he had a pole sticking out of that thing. I could have got a better video of it, but to be honest with you, at the time, the guys were over there, the police were there, they were over there working on disconnecting power and, you know, cutting the pole out from under the truck. Yeah, you could have seen some sparks fly and stuff on a video, but I didn't want to be in their way. I didn't want to detract from what they were doing. It was enough that I walked back there and asked them on that darker video. I guess I'll put that one up too, and I'll tell you about it when I walked to the back of the trailer to see what was going on. So, and then I politely moved to help them out and to make room. But I will, now that guy's out of the way, I'll zoom real quick and show the, if I can turn it that much, if it'll pick up that much without hitting the base of this thing. Right there is the pole. I can't zoom anymore. But if you look at the yellow guide wires that are sticking up, I mean, they're all wires to hold the telephone pole up, but they're plastic on them to let you know not to hit them. Maybe they should have put some on that light pole, but it's right behind them. It's right there. That's the pole, and it's facing long ways, facing this way. And it's twisted. It's supposed to be straight. The reason you can see it from here curved over and then back and whatever is because he twisted the mess out of it. So the light pole part of it at the top is twisted one way, but then the pole itself is bent a different way. So it's almost like he tried to straighten it out with his truck, the top part. So let's see if we can move this around. But yeah, so they're gonna be maneuvering around him until he gets somebody out here to work on his stuff. I guess that's enough for this. Oh Lord, Roadlink, don't do that, bro. Just ride, man. Don't do what he did. So yeah, pretty cool little video. Picking up the tail end of a trailer and setting it down off of the pole. Yeah, see, road link squirreled around. He hooked around and went in between a couple of trailers over there. Maybe that's what this guy was thinking, but there's a big pole. I don't see how he missed it. It's massive. If you look at the pole over there to the right by the guide poles, compared to the size of the truck, man, it's huge. So y'all don't do that. This is a 35-minute video. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say. Have a good day. If you have a good day, you'll be having a better day than that guy. Y'all stay safe. I'm out. And don't do that. Y'all gotta do better than that. I'm out. Peace.